Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back in time. We're going to go back to the Marquesas Island, and then the chief will bring back the question.
Integrating drama into a classroom setting, I think, has the greatest power in how we become better learners.
The basket is all the food that's left. It's a hard choice to have to be made, but some people have to sacrifice their survival so that others will be able to survive.
How we engage in critical and creative thinking so that we solve problems not because we're learning to solve problems, but because suddenly we're living the problem.
Why is your family important to this island? What do you contribute to our survival?
The students take on the role of Pacific Islanders who are in a dilemma. Their island is suddenly facing the difficulties of drought and famine, and how they're going to survive as a culture facing these big dilemmas.
Because we only had a little bit of food for us, barely any for ourselves, and if we gave any to them, we wouldn't have enough at all.
The fishermen. Why should the fishermen survive?
Because fish almost never run out, and it's one of the easiest sources of food. I'm on the survival side. I feel very lucky.
I think it's pretty serious. It's a life and death decision.
I wouldn't want them to die, but I think they have to, because if it's the whole group that's together, then the culture would be gone.
They learn to form arguments around true open-ended questions. They think carefully about it, and they can talk succinctly about what it is they're thinking and why they're thinking of it. Yes.
I think we should, because
You think you should what?
give them food and water, because it's not really fair to see your friends and family.
Okay. So are you saying it makes you feel bad that you're over here?
That feeling of that could happen is real for the kids, and it becomes an emotional experience for them as well as an imaginary one. And when you have this kind of emotion attached to what you're doing, it's much more meaningful and memorable and fun.
The foundation of all this is creativity, being able to express it physically, vocally, being able to make it clear how they feel and what they're doing in any given situation, so they're comfortable kind of standing up and expressing ideas in multiple ways.
How did you feel the moment the chief said, there's not enough food for everyone to survive? Freeze your body. 3, 2, 1, and freeze. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Some heads down, some hands over faces. Yeah, some mouths are kind of wide open. Yeah, good. And you can unfreeze. All right. How did you feel about the way the other group was treating your group? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and freeze. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Oh, some got their arms crossed. Yeah, some got their heads down.
We stage a war. The point is to, again, imaginatively and emotionally really engage the students, so they're like, we want to see what this is going to be like.
So first, these are some pictures made of what warfare might have looked like up close by a very famous artist. Yeah. It's very red because he's trying to give you the feeling of it, the anger and the feeling that might be going on here. Yeah. What are some of the weapons you notice in here that they're using? Yeah. Yeah, spears are really important.
They have to choreograph their own brief hula that shows the war through the dance based on what they know were weapons that were used at the time, and those are the gestures that they embrace into the dance.
It's how your team works together. 1, 2. How your team shows focus. Second weapon. 1. How your team shows its most power. And 1. That's what will be the winner of the war. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
They get to bond with each other more as a class because they see each other interacting in ways that they don't usually see each other. It's not just paper and pencil work.
And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go onto the canoe. What do you see people doing on the canoe? Okay, they're almost like farming, take care of the animals. Yes.
Some people
Paddling? Yes. Bringing up the sails.
I was like a navigator for the canoe.
I felt in control, kind of, because I got to tell people where to go and when there was a storm coming, and I got to know when and where we were.
As part of that, they start to imagine the challenges they'd face on the journey and what the people might face as they stretch out as a week or a month or however long it takes to sail. But suddenly, they see what? And we talk about the sights they might catch, a bird flying overhead, and I ask them to imagine those moments and how it would change the feeling on the canoe after this long journey.
I jumped off the canoe and raced to the grass. It felt awesome to be on land.
Then we reform ourselves as a community and start to imagine, how are we going to set up this island so that we don't suffer the same difficulties we suffered on our home island?
just like this hope that we could continue the culture of the people of ancient Polynesia on this island.
The students start to imagine the way that they would situate their culture, the way they would divide out their community.
Well, we split the island from the mountain all the way down to the ocean, so people can have a little bit land, so it's kind of like a triangle.
My ultimate goal with students is that they are not caught up with trying to do what's right, but they find ways to explore and express ideas that are very satisfying to them as learners.
If you had the chance to either stay where you're living or to get onto a canoe and sail off to someplace you know nothing about, or even if it's out there, which would you rather do? Would you rather stay, or would you want to step on that canoe and sail off?
And I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea if I was going anywhere. I would definitely want to stay there.
Just because you don't know what's going to happen, okay?
It would be fun to go explore.
The idea of leaving would be fun, but it's a little scary to face the unknown. How about over here? Why would you guys say you definitely want to go, yes?
We will start a new culture.
Maybe start a new culture? Maybe you're getting away from what could be a war. Great.
Just as the islanders ultimately leave their island in search of resources, so too the students learn to take risks, trusting themselves and their classmates as they journey into new ways of learning.
It's like really fun, and then it's like we almost go back in time. In drama, you can actually like work it out with all your partners and like work together and communicate.